Hey guys, this is Jason. Thank you so much for supporting us and picking up this project. This is one of my favorite piece of magic to perform, especially when I need to impress someone. Not only you can perform this as an extremely visual piece of magic, you can also perform this as a mental effect and do the open switch right underneath your audience's nose. If you want to take this concept to the next level, you can even do the extremely slow-mo coin change. Use your fingertips to morph the coin from one to a different currency. Once you get a hold on this concept, the possibility for this effect is just unlimited. I cannot wait for this. Let's get into the secret section. Alright, for this effect we need a coin and a Sharpie. Spectator, please put your signature on the back of the coin, please. Sweet, alright, and I'm going to take the pen back, hold your hand out. Clearly drop the coin on your palm. Now I'm going to put a little dot on the coin. Just like that. Alright, all you need to do, just focus on this dot. Do not blink your eyes. Nothing in my hands. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Just like that. The dot just expands into a heart shape. Take it up, have a look. Turn it around, make sure still has your signature on the back. There you have it. Alright guys, so what you guys are looking at is the gimmick right now. So you can handle the coin almost like a real coin. You can flip the coin, toss from one hand to another, doesn't matter. So whenever you like, you can separate the disposable shell from this coin, right? So if you take a good look at it, both of them look exactly the same. Also this shell right here, because it's so light, we can steal it really quickly and we can morph it from one coin to another. So this is basically the basic principle for this effect. Alright guys, so here is the second part of the gimmick, how to secretly steal the top shell from this coin. So what happened here is, on my middle finger, I have a little piece of double-sided tape right here. You can use wax, whatever, it doesn't matter. So it looks like my index finger coming down, but in actuality, the moment my hand coming down, I actually switch my index finger into my middle finger. Now I'm gonna allow this double-sided tape to contact with this shell. The moment I go up again, I'm gonna switch my finger back to my index finger. So in slow motion, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, and coming up like that. Okay, now that's how to steal the shell. So in the next section, I'm going to show you how to construct your own gimmick. Alright guys, so once you guys open the DVD, you will find there's a acrylic box has some tinfoil inside there. Okay, also you will need the currency which will match with the DVD you're purchasing. So we have many different versions, depends on which country or which currency. We have the matching tinfoil cut into the right size that it's just perfect for the coin you're gonna be using. Other than those, you also need a piece of napkin, and all of those are optional. So we also need something to be very sticky on your middle finger. It can be some super sticky and soft wax, or it can be a double-sided tape. Also, we highly recommend you to also pick this one up, the coin pouch, which can keep the gimmick inside safe. Also, we need some alcohol to clean the coin before we actually using it. Alright, so first step is we're gonna clean the coin we're about to use. If you think your coins are super clean, so you don't need to do this step, but sometimes there's some sticky stuff on the coin, so we don't want that to happen. So we just want to spray some alcohol and make sure this is nice clean and nothing is sticky. Otherwise, the tin foil might stick on it and make it harder for us to remove the shell. Alright, so once this coin is cleaned, what happened here is we're gonna open up this little container. We got about a little bit over 150 piece of tin foil inside. So just slowly open it up like this to get only one single piece. So once you get it, you'll realize there's one side is matte finish, the other side is more shiny, right? Let's close it up. So what happened here is we're gonna take the coin. We're going to make the disposable or the super thin shell right now. So we're gonna pick the side you want to use. I'm using the Canadian 25 cents, the quarter. So the first thing we do is we actually gonna make sure the coin is in the center of the foil, right? So then what we do is we press down on all the edges and make the tinfoil to catch on the clip on the coin, right? Just like that. So once we smooth down all the edges, we can just press on the middle part of the coin to get all the details coming out from the coin like that. Okay. All right. So if you take a look at it, it looks pretty good already. So if you guys want to make this super fine with all the details coming out, I highly recommend you to use like a piece of towel napkin. Basically, use one finger, two fingers to pinch like this, and using the corner, just bend one corner over like this, and just pinch down, and just use the napkin to rub back and forth like that. And basically, what we do is we want this tinfoil to be 100% contact with the coin to get all the small details coming out. Also remember to push down on the edges, make sure that all the edges are completely flat with the coin. All right. And also when you're doing this thing, make sure your fingers are not sticky. You don't have a glue or anything on your fingers, otherwise the tinfoil might be peeled up. So once you've done that, here's a couple of tips for how to handle this this coin. So basically, we don't want to touch right in the middle, because the moment you touch in the middle, we're gonna separate the shell from the coin, right? So all you need to do is always handle the coin by the edge, like that, okay? Always handle the coin with the edge, and you'll be fine. And also, if you want, you can toss the coin from one hand to another, do whatever you like, all right? Always pinch on the edges like that. Now let's talk about how to keep this coin safe before we actually perform. Of course, you can do this effect right on the spot. You can just take a tinfoil and just make the shell right on the spot. Or I highly recommend you to pick up this coin pouch or any coin container that can keep the gimmick inside there safe and secure. So this coin pouch you can put all your gimmick shell in there. This can also be a very good switch tool for you. So let's just drop the coin in here. Right now, this coin can be safely stored inside here. Right. So whenever you use it, just slowly open it up. Now just let this coin coming out from the pouch like that. Right. You can keep up to like 15 pieces of coin inside there. Just like that, you can toss from one hand to another. So the key here is get used to this coin and get used to how to handle this gimmick like that. All right, now let me show you how to prepare the other part of it. So the other part, we can use the soft wax. You can just grab a little piece of soft wax, and so you can put a little bit, just slightly tiny piece of wax or any sticky thing that you can thinking of that won't let your audience to spot it. So you can use wax. You can see it looks very normal. It's almost like nothing's on my fingers, but it's very sticky right now. All right. And for this storage pouch right here, you can also put a little piece of double-sided tape. Just place right here, somewhere will be safe to keep it. So now you can have a gimmick inside the pouch like that. Now, once you keep them like that, so you're ready to perform anytime. Just open it up and peel off this double-sided tape. Now tape this on the fingers that you want to contact with the coin like that. Now take this coin out. Now you're ready to perform. Alright guys, so this is the main handling. This is what we highly recommend you guys to use this concept for. So the setup is slightly different. So we're gonna do a setup real quick right now. So so basically the effect is maybe we can draw like a question mark, kind of like a mystery coin. Then the moment you touch this coin, the question mark change into a forced card. So for now, let's say we're gonna force the 3 of hearts. Okay. Now for this coin, we're going to draw 3 of hearts in. So after we draw the 3 of hearts, so whatever the ink design that you like, we're gonna place this tinfoil on top of it and just do the same thing like we talked about before in the gimmick construction. So same thing. Now we're gonna grab this napkin to press down. Alright, so once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Now this Sharpie is going to be inside your left hand pocket. Now the stack of cards with the 3 of hearts, the fourth card on top of the deck will be inside your right hand pocket. Now we have this gimmick with a foil coin facing up, clip like this, right? Now is the time to ask your audience for some changes. Now, audience, please hold your hand out. So there's a couple different ways. Your audience can have like a bunch of different changes. Now you can, what happened here is when you searching for coins here, and my right hand is going to let it fall on my fingers like this, all right? From my finger palm here, then it comes down over here. So it's gonna resting on my fingers. Now I'm gonna pretend to take one piece up, one piece of coin up, then I'm just gonna do a toss motion like this. Now look very clean. It looks like I just take a coin up and pull on the other hand, right? So once again, now that's on my finger palm. So relax your fingers. Now the moment the left hand reach out for the coins, my right hand let it go down my fingertips. Pretend to take one piece up and just drop like that. So in the real speed, it looks something like this. So can I get something? May I take a coin? How about this piece right here? All right, this quarter. We're gonna use this quarter. Okay, perfect. A second way is maybe your audience have only one coin. You say, can I take a quarter from you? So your audience only have one coin. Let's say your audience hand you a quarter. So right here, you gotta take the quarter up. All right. So after you display the quarter in your left hand, my right hand will do the same thing. I'm gonna let it fall on my fingertips like that. All right. So what happened here is I'm gonna do the same thing, but instead my left hand thumb is gonna hold on the coin. So this coin is always keep it still in my left hand, and my right hand do the same thing. It looks like that. You let the fingers to move, so you see how the coins fly into the middle of my palm like this, right? So in real speed, looks like this. Okay. Now my left hand can just reach inside my pocket and just drop this coin inside my pocket and take out a Sharpie. All right. So now I'm gonna hand the Sharpie to my audience. Now what we do is we're gonna ask the audience to have a look at it, make sure this is a quarter. All right. They can look as closely as they can, because how precise this gimmick is, they're not gonna notice anything. Now you say, I'm gonna open up my fingers, make sure I don't do anything tricky. Now I'm gonna toss from my right hand to my left hand like this. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask your audience to sign their signature, put their initials down on this coin. Perfect. Now this coin has been marked. There's only one coin looking like this in this entire world. Now you're gonna ask your audience to hold out your left hand. Now what we do is we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna toss the coin in the middle of their palm like that. Now we're gonna grab the pen. You say, what we do here is we are going to make a little mark, right? You can put a dot down, or like me, I love to put a question mark right here. You say, and then you can explain the other side of the coin has been marked with this initial or signature. The face of the coin has a question mark on top of it, right? There's only one coin. This is very unique in this entire world. Now you're gonna ask your audience to point the other hand out with one finger and just touch any card. So from here, you can ask them to do the classic force, whatever force you like, doesn't matter. So they pick 3 of hearts. Then you show them all the cards are different. You can hand the card to them. You don't need to look. So make sure it looks like a free choice. So we create the illusion your audience have a free choice of any card. So from here, what we do is you can ask them to say, you pick this card. Don't know which card you're picking. Now I'm gonna use only one finger. So what happened here is we're gonna do this very slow. Okay, first of all, we're gonna show your hands completely empty, right, like this. Then you're gonna, so left hand is grab on their fingers like this, so make sure they don't move around. And the other hand, I'm gonna point the one finger out, my index finger like this. Okay, so what happened here is you're gonna say, I'm only gonna use one finger and the one touch. Keep your eyes on this coin right here. Okay, so it's gonna happen in 1, 2, 3. The moment you count on 3, you're gonna switch your index finger with your middle finger and coming down and touch on the coin. And the moment the finger left the coin, you're gonna do the switch while your hands pull up. Okay, so in slow motion, it's gonna look like this. Keep your eyes on the coin. It's gonna happen on count of 3. So 1, 2, 3, right? Just like that. It switched from the question mark into 3 of hearts. Okay, so once again, we're gonna do this very quickly like this. All right, we're gonna drop the coin in spectator's hand. So here we're gonna do, keep your eyes on the coin. So it's gonna happen in 1, 2. I'm gonna switch my fingers. My finger comes down, touch it. The moment I go up, I do the switch again. It's gonna be my index finger. Right now, I can use my index finger point at the coins again. So now they can just look at the coin and make sure they still get their signature. So they know this is the same coin, right? So now I'm going to show you one more time in real speed. Now it's going to happen like this. So keep your eyes on this coin. It's going to happen on count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Just like that, it changed into 3 of hearts. Alright guys, so here's another application for you guys. So in the previous section, we showed you how to change the design on the coin from one design to another. Now we're going to show you a more advanced version, which you can change the design multiple times. So I suggest you guys to do twice. You can do 3, 4, 5, total up to you guys. So the setup is exactly the same. I draw it big enough and very both a thick line so people can see. Now, once again, we're gonna make sure this ink is dry. Otherwise, the ink will be very sticky, right? If you think it's not dry enough, you can use the napkin to pat it to make sure it's dry, right? Once you're happy with the result, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna take the first piece of foil, put on top of it. So we're gonna do the same thing. You guys can see this is almost the same as the first application. The setup is exactly the same. Now once you're done, we're gonna place this just on your hand and we're gonna draw the second design. And because also remember when we draw all the designs, make sure you have the coin facing the same orientation. If everything is straight up like this, you always do the drawing on the same orientation. Otherwise, you don't want the heart to be changing directions. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the second design, which is 2 hearts linked together. Right? Looks pretty nice. Now we're gonna repeat the same step. Make sure it's dry. Pinch it up like this and add the second face of the tin foil. Alright guys, so once we finish setup for this effect, now we have this gimmick just sitting in your finger palm like this. Have all the shell facing up like this. Now you have the Sharpie in your left hand pocket, right? Now we're gonna ask your audience to get some change for you. So your audience hold out a bunch of change, or if they give you a single change, then do the force transfer and switch to the gimmick one. So for now, we're just gonna do the same one, just like we pretend to find a good one. So you pretend you have one and just toss in the other hand, just like that. Now you can show both of your hands instantly clean. Now you can take out Sharpie and hand to your audience. Then you toss to the other hand, ask your audience to sign their signature on the back side of the coin, just like that. Now this coin will be very unique. Now you're gonna ask your audience to hold one hand out. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put this coin back inside their hand like this. Now everything looks very clean and clear. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw 2 hearts, however they're gonna be separate, okay? Alright guys, so once we draw the 2 hearts, you can put the Sharpie away. Now remember, before we do this magic, always have stick stuff on your fingertips. Now in my case, I'm having the wax right now. Now we're gonna do the same thing, just like the single shell version. Just tap 1, 2, and third time we're gonna tap on the shell and do the finger switch like this, okay? So it's gonna look like 1, 2, 3, right? It's gonna 2 hearts linked together like that. So while we transfer this piece from in between your middle finger and ring finger low to over here, you can use your finger to point at the coin and ask your audience to register what is happening. So you can see 2 hearts visually linked together like that. Now you can say, I'm going to show you one more time. Don't blink eyes. 1, 2. So at the same time, we'll still do the same thing. However, we curve the 2 fingers, so we're not doing anything with 2 fingers and keeping the shell clipped with those 2 fingers. So the second change looks like 1, 2, 3. So now the 2 hearts just form together into a big one. Now you can ask your audience to check and make sure they still have the signature on the back. So that is how to perform this effect multiple times, and as many times as you want. Just after you do the one change, to move this in between 2 fingers as many times as you want. And after it's done, you can take the Sharpie back inside your pocket and drop all those trash inside your pocket, and you're instant clean. So that is the second handling for this effect. Alright, spectator, can I borrow a coin from you? Right, very nice. It's a beautiful Chinese coin. I also need a Sharpie, right? Take the Sharpie. Right now, how about just sign your name on the back of the coin? Right, make sure the camera can see. Yeah, just sign your name, nice and big. Now we know this is a very unique coin, right? Okay, all right, I'm gonna borrow one of your hand right now. Okay, check it out. Now, this Chinese coin has been signed. The back of the coin has been signed by you, right?
There's only one in this world. All right, guys, take a close look at the 2013 2013. Now, this is what I want you to do, all right? Keep eyes on this coin. Take the coin and squeeze really hard. Perfect. Now, I want you to think about a different year in your head right now. Think about a different year. What is it?
2016.
2016, 2016. Now, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the idea you have and just slowly melt inside your hand. Open your hand, have a look. Check out the date right now. It's 2016. And turn it over and make sure your signature is still there. Just like that.
Alright guys, here we're gonna do a very cool application. We can use this as a mentalizing effect. This is a perfect open switch for you guys. So start with, we're gonna have two coins. They all have two different dates, which is two different years. This one is 2016. This one is 2013. Right? So just pick one of them. Depends on if you want to go time, like go into the future or go back in time. So I'm gonna take the 2016. I'm gonna change it, the year back to 2013. So in order to do that, we're gonna take the 2016 first. Now we're gonna take the tinfoil. We're gonna do the same thing. Very quick setup. Alright guys, so after we rub it really hard, you can see 2016. Very important. So once we've done that, we're gonna put this on one side of your hand. Now we're gonna have another coin right over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lift this one up and just place it same orientation on the 2013 one, right? So we're gonna do it very nicely, slowly lift it up. Now we're gonna just slowly push it and make sure all the details gonna be matched like that. Okay, as much as possible. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do the same thing. However, the only thing we're not be touching is the year, because we want the tinfoil to have the memorized shape of 2016. So everywhere else, we're gonna press it down with the napkin to get all the details out. Alright guys, so after you wrap it nicely, it's gonna end up like this. It's just like any other shell gimmick we made. You can toss it around and handle it just like the same way. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna ask your audience to hold out a bunch of change. Right, let's say they have a bunch of change. Now we're just gonna do the same thing. We pretend to take one piece up. You can just go through them and just pretend to take one piece up. Right, now this coin is gonna drop on your fingertips and just do that. All right, everything else is gonna be same. We're gonna toss a coin from one hand to another to show the back side of it. Now we're gonna hand it sharply to the audience. Same thing, ask them to sign their signature on top of the coin. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna ask your audience to hold the other hand out. We'll have this coin in their hand. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask them, do not close your fingers, open your finger as much as you can. Now keep a close look at the coin. Remember the date on this coin, because every coin is very unique. They're manufactured in a specific time. Like this coin right here you're holding is 2016. Okay, very important. Now you can use your favorite way to force a number. You can force a number 3, then you can say just 2016 minus 3, which year is it? So it's gonna be 2013. So whatever force you do, make sure you'll end up to the coin is underneath the shell, right? So at this moment we're gonna do open switch. So it's all about patterns, misdirections, sort of things like that. So it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna show you in slow motion first. It's gonna look like you have a coin in your hand. Take a look at it. Which year is it? 2016, right? At this moment you're gonna say, now do me a favor. I want you to take this coin. Just close your fingers like this. So it's gonna look like this, right? So take a closer look at it. 2016, perfect. Now this is what we're gonna do. I want you to take this coin, just squeeze it up like this, right? And you help them to close their fingers like that, right? So one more time, I'll do it in slower motion. So, and this shell is gonna be just like that, right? I'm gonna do a very rough version. So, but it will work the same way. So you're gonna be like, you're gonna use one hand to hold on their fingers like that, and say, this coin, I want you to take this coin and squeeze it like this. Then you help them to close their fingers. Okay, so let's break it down one more time. So you have the shell on top of the coin. So you hold their fingers like this. Take this coin and squeeze it like this. Then you close their fingers. The moment you close their fingers, you want to keep the eye contact with the audience, so they're not watching anywhere else. So one more time, I show you once again. This is how it's gonna look like in real speed, with the shell on top of the coin. Right? So you're gonna ask the audience, say, All right, so remember the date of this coin is 2016. Now take this coin and squeeze it up like this. Perfect. Now don't let anyone touch it. So at this moment, you can take the Sharpie and with this piece of tinfoil and put it inside your pocket. Just leave this inside your pocket so you are instant clean. So at this moment, the magic is already done. So do your favorite way of force the number. You can force 3, you can force 2013. And you're gonna ask your audience to imagine all the travel back in time, whatever, put your own presentation over, then ask them to open up the hand and have a look at it. They'll see the number change to 2013, and the best part is you still have their signature on the back of the coin. Alright guys, so the first tips we're going to talk about is how to practice this effect and how to switch the fingers, and we're also going to talk about the patterns of how to switch the fingers. So in order to practice this and be more efficient, we actually don't need to make a perfect shell for this gimmick. So for now, we just make a simple one like this, right? It doesn't need to be extremely like in detail, so just make it good enough for the practice. So right here, you can practice this in your own hands, or you can ask your friends to borrow their hands and practice with you. So the idea here is we're gonna do, you can do single tap, or you can tap on the hands couple of different positions before we switch the fingers and steal the shell. So I highly recommend you guys to start by practicing this way. You count from 1, 2, 3, then you can do the switch, right? So you can do 1, 2, and 3, do a switch. So 1, touch the hand, go up. 2, go up. The moment you count 3, that's the moment you can switch to the middle finger. And the key here is, it doesn't matter how fast you switch from index finger to the middle finger. It matters when you switch them back, because when you switch them back, that is the moment the wax contact with the shell, because you want to switch it fast in order to vanish the shell as fast as possible. Okay. So let's do in slow motion. So 1, 2, 3, and switch back and point up again. Okay. Now I'm gonna place the shell back on. Excuse me how not good looking the shell is, but this is good enough for us to practice. Alright, so place the shell right here. That's good enough. So we go 1, 2, 3. Right, just like that. So one more time. So go 1, 2, 3. Okay. So in slow motion, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's all about the pattern. So before you guys actually perform in real life, make sure you practice enough time to do the 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the key here is always when you switch from index finger to middle finger, you can do it as slow as you can. So 1, 2, because no one's really looking at your fingers. Even like 1, 2. That's the moment I switch my fingers like this, and the moment I go 3, I go slowly down. However, when I switch back, I do it fast. Okay, from middle finger to index finger. The cool part about this effect is even when your friends film you perform this and they try to figure out how this is done, and when they slow down the video, they can see you already give them a middle finger. So don't worry about that. And from all my years of doing this effect, I have never had anyone ever call me switch my fingers, because all they can remember is using one finger and just tap on different position on their hand, and the last tap on the hand, he actually changed from one to another. Right, so that is the pattern and how to practice this effect. Alright guys, now here are tips number 2 for you, how to perform this effect with the best angle. So the best angle for this effect obviously is not using your index finger to point at the camera. Like, let's take this camera as an example. Let's say this is the main angle for all your audience. So the best angle is not like this, because once you do this, people can see you switch the fingers very easily. Also, and your audience is gonna see the trace of you steal the shell away. It's gonna look very shiny. The best angle is somewhere like this. You basically use the palm of your hand to block people's view. So the moment it touches it, it has a very short distance for the fingers to move back inside. Okay, so and it should look, the best angle should look like this. So 1, 2, 3, just like that. You switch from one coin to another, right? So when you guys perform the practice this effect, make sure you have your friend to watching you practice, or have the camera set up at the right angle. Then make sure you know how your fingers gonna look when you perform this, right? So that's the angle for this effect. And then let's say if you perform this to a group of people, it's better to have the coin close to your chest. In that way, you can get the best coverage. It's almost about 180 degrees, so most of the people in front of you can see the change happens right underneath their eyes. So that is everything about the angles for this effect. Alright guys, here tips number 3 is about all your middle fingers. So we're gonna put something sticky on your middle fingers where the area of the flash can contact with the shell. There's many options you can use. I love to use those kind of soft wax. It's very sticky. Also, once I apply them on my fingertips, it looks invisible, especially when I perform this for a TV camera, when they have an extremely close up on the coin, that it won't accidentally show the stickiness on my finger. If you want to perform this in a very casual situation, double side tape is just good enough, and no one really pay attention on your fingertips. So now let's talk about the situation that maybe the double side tape just somehow you just lost it. Maybe you forgot to put on your fingers. If your hands are very sweaty, this trick still works, because all you need is a little bit saliva on your fingertips, or if you have like cold drinks nearby, you can use your fingertips to touch on the outside of the glass to get any type of liquid that's just outside of your fingertips. For now, just use my saliva. Alright, just like what you see, we're just using my tongue, just lick on my middle finger where the flash can touch the shell. So this just a little bit of liquid is gonna work the same way. It's gonna look like 1, 2, 3, just like that. We still be able to steal the shell, because the tension, the water surface tension, it just can be able to steal the shell for like a few seconds. Then obviously you cannot keep it like this for too long, otherwise the gravity will start to pull the shell down. And just the moment you touch it, and just use your fingers to clip on it, because it's not like wax is gonna stick there forever, but it just in emergency situation you can still perform the same effect. So just remember, touch the outside of the glass somehow to get some kind of liquid on your fingertips, and you still can perform the same effect. Then we're gonna do a quick demonstration of how to apply the wax on my fingertips. So let's get a close up on this. So basically I just take a little piece of wax and just do like this and just pat it down, right? So in a point it doesn't look obvious, so it looks like still looks like skin of my fingers, right? So it depends on how much time you want to fix this and pat it down. As long as it's sticky, you can test on your fingers. Now you know your middle finger is ready to steal the shell, right? So you can do this when you perform this to a TV, when it's like 4K and it's very high resolution, and everything will be very big on the screen. So that is a very smart thing to use the soft wax on your finger. So that is how to steal the shell with multiple different solutions with your middle finger. Alright guys, here tip number 4. We talk about if you don't have the thickness thing in the previous tips. What if you don't have napkins? So any kind of fabric will work too. So let's say if you're wearing a t-shirt, so we can do the same setup just like this. Now just grab a corner of your t-shirt and just do the same thing. Sometimes it actually works even better compared to a napkin. So you can just do it like that in a dark corner. You can set this up. Take about just 10 seconds. If you're really good at it, then it'll take a lot less time, right? So just like that, you just finished a quick setup on the coin. Now you can toss it around and continue with the effects. And also we include a lot of different applications in this DVD. However, not everything will suit for on your needs. So just pick one of few that you feel you can be able to do it, and don't be discouraged if you cannot perform everything. So just pick a few of them and try them out, have fun with them, and use your imagination. If you can create other like applications for from this concept, to go ahead and have fun with them. So that's all the tips for you guys. Enjoy them and try them out.
Alright guys, so that's it. That's everything you guys need to know about this effect. And remember, this is not just an effect, this is a whole new concept. Just let your imagination go wild and create as many tricks as you can. Also remember, stay tuned with us. We got a lot more magic coming out from Sans & Minds Magic. And once again, my name is Jason. I'll see you guys next time. Alright guys, check it out. We got a 110 NT dollar right here in my hands. Alright, I'm gonna borrow your hand in a second, right? Alright guys, keep a close look at it. Make sure you can see all the single details, all the Chinese letters, and also the president in front of this coin right here. Now check that out. I want you to think about a different country right now. I'm gonna use my fingertips to grab the information from your head, and now I have all the information on my thumb tip. Now check it out. Nothing on my thumb tip. Don't blink your eyes. I'm gonna use my thumb tape to put the information on this coin right here. Can you see it? It's slowly to change to a different currency. Now I'm gonna press down like this, and I can see slowly change from one currency to a different one, just by using my fingertips like that. Now with lost my fingertips, now I can see the whole coin switched to a different currency just by using my thumb tip. Now turn it over, not only the face but the back change to a different currency as well. Now I can jab this and give to the audience to check.
Alright guys, so here's a more advanced handling for this concept. So basically we're gonna use our fingertips to press down on the coin. It's gonna morph into a different currency. In my case, I'm gonna morph in the face of the coin to the back of the coin, all right, because it's the same size. So if you guys can find two currency that has similar size, so you can do it in the same way. So the setup for this crazy slow motion coin change is exactly the same, just like the other two handlings, right? So basically we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get a shell prepared like that, right? So what happened here is we're gonna separate the shell out from the coin just like that, okay? Now, if we use a different coin currency, you basically replace it with different currency, but now I don't have the currency with me. So I'm gonna show you the same thing. It's exactly the same. I'm just gonna turn the coin upside down like that and replace this piece back on. However, before we replace this shell back on it, we're gonna do one little trick. So we're gonna take a little bit of liquid or anything, just place it on the face of the coin like this, okay? So what happened here is because the tension of the liquid, any kind of liquid, it's gonna keep the shell completely stick on top of this real coin. So you can see there is some liquid on top of the shell, top of the coin already. Now we're gonna carefully transfer the shell back on, right? So here's a couple of things we need to take care of. First of all is we're not gonna press down hard and make all the edges clip on the real coin. Now take a look at it. It looks just like a coin. So what happened here is we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a coin switch. So have the shell facing up and clip like this, okay? Now let's say we're gonna borrow a normal coin which will match with this coin, the gimmick coin in your hand. So you can borrow from a spectator and let them check it, doesn't matter. Now the same thing, we're gonna let the coin drop on your fingertips right here. Now right here, we're gonna do the force transfer like this, or if your audience have a bunch of coins in their hands, you just basically grab a piece, pretend to grab a piece from their hand. Now from here, we just do the force toss, right, just like that. Now once you've done that, we don't need to ask your audience to see the other side, because we don't want them to see the other side, right? So from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the coin just like this, okay? Alright guys, now we're gonna ask all your audience to look very close and burn at your coin just like this, because how precisely we made this gimmick, there's no way your audience can tell anything that is funny about this coin. So start from this moment, what we're gonna do is it's gonna look like a truly miracle, right? We're gonna use our fingertips to press down as hard as you can. However, we don't want to drag this piece left or right. Basically, we want to press straight down. Okay, so that's the secret. So here you can ask your audience to look at the coin. Now ask them to think about different currency, or ask them to imagine the back side of the coin. So I'm gonna do this right in front of you right now. I'm gonna slowly press it down as hard as you can. All right, like this. Now you can slowly reveal it. Now you can see it's about a quarter of the coin has changed, morphed from the face of a coin to the back of a coin. It looks absolutely amazing. Look at this. It's like somehow the back and the face is like merged together. So from here you can use the other fingers, press down as hard as you can. Ask them to imagine it slowly to turn into the back side of the coin. Right, slowly press down like that. Okay, now the key here is you don't need to press down 100% all the details out. As long as they can recognize this is the tail of the coin, that's good enough. Now what you're gonna do is do as slowly as possible. You say if the tail of the coin's here, or if there's a different currency, you say now if it switches to a different currency, the backside, turn the coin over. Now they can see it's a different currency, or now the tail change to the face change to the tail. So right here we have one last thing to do, which is very easy. Ask your audience to hold out the hand. We basically gonna push the coin towards your fingertips and press down. The moment you push it, you can see how the shell just disconnect from the real coin. Now you show half of the coin, simply drop the coin in their hands. Now they can examine as much as they want, and this little piece here you basically can just clip in between your fingers, put this piece inside your pocket, bring something out, doesn't matter, just toss it this away. Now you just made a miracle happen right in front of your audience. They are just inch away from this coin. Right, hope you guys will like this. Try this one out. Alright guys, here's the alternative way to perform the advanced version of this morphing the coin with your fingertips. So instead of changing the entire coin, we're gonna change any of the details on the coin, right? So one of the most easiest way to perform this is actually changing the date on the coin. In the previous section, we talked about the open switch. The setup is exactly the same, very close the same, but there's still something is different. So I want to do the one shot quickly, just like this. All right, take the napkin, rub on top of the shell, get all the details, especially the date of the coin. All right, so I'm using the 2013 one right now. Just make sure you get all the details, especially the year of the coin, which is 2013. Right, so once we've done that, we're gonna take the 2016 just right next to it and carefully remove the shell and just move it to the one over here. So right before we put this shell over to the coin, we're actually gonna put some saliva or any type of liquid. I just lick my finger with that, and just using the water, the liquid surface tension to keep the two pieces stick together. Now we're gonna just take the coin and just still same thing. We're gonna rub on surface of the coin. We can rub everything, everywhere except this number. You can even rub the 201 because it's the same as the 2016. However, sometimes we won't get the coin exactly the same. So I always keep the number part clean, so not even touching the number part. So just like that, we're gonna do as much as possible and close the coins like that. All right, and the liquid in between the two layers is so important. It's kind of like glue to stick everything together, so it won't easily separate. Okay. So once we've done that, we're gonna have something look like this. If you guys spend more time, it should look just like any coin like this. Okay. So, and because they're liquid in between the two layers, it's much easier for you to handle. You get more freedom to handle the coin. Right, so just like that, we're gonna do the same thing. Ask your audience to hold out a bunch of changes. Right, pretend to pick one up, and this hand drop the coin from the finger palm to the fingertips. force transfer like that. Now you can ask your audience to sign this coin one more time. Okay, now we take a Sharpie out from your pocket. You can ask your audience to hold the hand out and take the Sharpie and sign their signature on the back side of the coin. So they put a signature on it. So now this will be only one coin in this entire world. Now you can ask your audience to hold the Sharpie, because whenever you put Sharpie back inside your pocket, that's a perfect moment for you to ditch the shell back inside your pocket, right? At this moment, I'm gonna ask your audience to hold the hand out and just ask them to hold the Sharpie for you. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna toss this coin from one hand to another. Now we're gonna casually hold this coin and show the face and show the back. You say, this is the only coin in this entire world, right? This is a real coin made with metal. Because it's metal, everything's engraved inside the metal, so it's impossible to be changed. But now I want you to think about a different date. Now this is 2013. Alright guys, so as you guys can see with the close-up shot, we can see 2013. So at this moment, you can ask all your audience keep very close look at this coin. They can even burning at the coin. They can keep like an inch away from the coin. That is even okay. Okay, right now you can ask your audience to think about the new number inside their minds, right? You can force a number, whatever you do. So as long as they think 2016. So from this moment, show your fingers completely empty, and what you're gonna do is press down as hard as you can, right? So you can show 2013. Now you're gonna say, just think about the number in your head. I'm gonna take it, just print it on this coin like that. Okay, it looks extremely visual. It's so incredibly strong, and also it is so small. That's why it doesn't look like a magic. It looks like a miracle. So at this moment, you can slowly turn this coin over to show your signature still here. We're gonna do the same thing. The moment we turn my wrist over, I'm gonna push the coin like that. Leave the shell inside my fingertips. I'm gonna drop the coin inside your audience hand like that. Then your audience they cannot wait to check this coin. So you got all the time in the world to put this in your pocket. You can say, oh, give my Sharpie back, check this coin as much as you can. And now both of them can go inside your pocket, and you just leave an incredible miracle in your audience hand. So that's the alternative way to do the morphing coin.